Let's have a look at some of the big stories of the day, or the things that I found the most interesting. And I'm delighted to say that joining me is Daily Telegraph journalist and Sky News contributor Joe Hildebrand. Joe, I've got a turbo show tonight, so we're going to be pushing this along, mate.
Yes.
UK Brexit leader Nigel Farage told the Conservative Political Action Conference in the US that Australia is the wokest place on earth. Have a listen to this.
We can go to Australia, which has now become one of the wokest places on earth.
Right, Joe, he's onto something here, isn't he? Or do you disagree?
I think he might be, and I'll tell you a little experience I had just today. Perhaps before I wouldn't have agreed with that, but I don't want to alarm you or ruin your Sunday, Corey, but I went to the Sydney World Pride March this morning with my family and had a terrific time. Then I got home, did the family shopping with the kids, and a kind of weird-looking hippie kind of mask-wearing Extinction Rebellion type-looking person accosted me in the supermarket and said I was a right-wing loser. Well, firstly, if I was going to be right-wing, I'd be a right-wing winner. Secondly, I had to say to him, how dare you call me right-wing? I'm going to go on Corey Bernardi's show last night just to say he said that. But then later on, this person was saying they wouldn't even, it was just so weird because they wouldn't even look me in the eye. They were just sort of muttering to themselves and talking to their friend. And when they came back around the aisle, I heard him say, or them say, because I think he was non-binary, not or them, not that there's anything wrong with that, said that, he wrote a column criticising Lydia Thorpe. And I thought, wow. So being to the right of Lydia Thorpe now makes you a right-winger. That means the Greens are right-wing. That is about as woke as you could actually get.
Now you're messing with my brain here. That's crazy stuff. But it's a lesson. It's a lesson. No matter how much you try and appease this mob by going on their marches and embracing the bearded rainbow, you are always never going to be woke enough, Joe Hildebrand. So just give up, mate. Just dump all that lefty stuff.
I don't want to be woke.
And join us. Come to the strength of character.
Well, this is the thing, though, because the woke people, they're not helping people like me. They're not helping people, Labor right or centre left or in the middle or whatever you want to call it. They're helping conservatives because everything they do and say makes the left so toxic and so unattractive and so easy to skewer that it actually is a giant gift to people like your good self or Nigel Farage, who did make some good points to CPAC. And so woke people they are killing us, but it's not the you that they're killing, it's the us, it's the people in the middle.
No, you're one of us now, mate. You're not one of them. But anyway, let's move on to another one. We're going to be in furious agreement, I can sense. Channel 10's show, The Project, right, it's opened this huge can of worms, I think, by allowing one of its guests, and it was a drag queen, to make a quite revolting joke that offended Christian sensibilities because it was about Jesus. They had to have an apology on air. A large group of blokes marched through Newtown in protest against the joke. Joe, the comment was vile, and I've got two questions for you. Why is this garbage allowed on our televisions in the first place? They can't say they didn't know about it because most of the project is pre-recorded. Second, they would never have allowed any joke like this, of that nature, to be said about another religious figure. Let me give you an example of Muhammad, for fear of the repercussions. Why do they have to go down this path?
I think that all of what you said is true, but I don't think that just because people are too scared to say it about other religions means that that people should be, or that we should be saying, well, you can't say that about Christian figures or Christianity then. I think that you don't fix cancel culture by having more cancel culture. You fix the problems with, for example, Charlie Hebdo being targeted and having its staff killed, murdered in cold blood, after satirising the Prophet Muhammad. You don't actually fix that by saying, all right, well, if they're going to do that, then you can't say anything bad about Jesus, because that just sort of validates that point of view. What you do is say, listen, in a free Western democracy, we can actually make jokes about Jesus. We can actually satirise Jesus. And if you want to consider yourself part of this free liberal West and enjoy all its benefits, well, then you have to allow that sort of criticism or satire or comedy or whatever you want to call
Joe,
it as well. That's what we should be talking about.
I agree with you, but this... I agree with you, but this was revolting, mate. It had no place of going on TV, right? Because it was just so grubby and distasteful. If it had been on at the Fringe across the road from my place, it probably would have
Yeah, I honestly don't think it was prepared or cleared or screened. Obviously, I'm pretty good friends with one of the hosts of the project, Sarah Harris, and she says she's told me privately, and now I'm going to make it public, that is absolutely not true. I've heard that the comedian is going around saying that he had approval for it. I am told by her, and I would trust her any day of the week, London to a brick. She said that she was in the room when all those discussions were happening. That joke was never, ever approved. It was snuck in at the end, and the project, quite frankly, should have just said, look, we don't agree with that. We didn't support it. It was unscripted, but we're a show where things happen, and you know, we're not going to sort of give a half-assed apology or indeed backtrack, because you know now there's anger at the project for, you know, appeasing the Christians and not backing in the gay community enough. And so by being a bit sort of half pregnant, they've managed to please no one, sadly.
All right. Hey, Joe, we've managed to consume time. We didn't get onto live sheep exports or the debacle that's in New South Wales, their election. But I got to say good night to you, my friend, because I'm out of time.
Always next time, my friend.